Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars. He is creating grand adventures. If you didn't play, you should have. It was fun. Mike gave away books that weighed a ton. Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars. Mike loves puzzles and his boys. Chris and Eric love those mail time toys. Cowlazars, Cowlazars, Cowlazars. Mike's vlogs are all about the clues and the chase. He's looking on the map for Forrest Fenn's special place. Other treasure hunts, you know the info's here too. Subscribe to the channel, you never know when there's a clue. Mike's got Cowlazars coffee cups coming soon. Like, comment, and share if you like this tune. And you do. Of course you do. Sing it! Cowlazars, 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 Cowlazars.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? We weren't supposed to go live tonight, were we, KPro? And that's why we say subscribe, because you just never know. Basically, what happened is we were watching some videos recently.
I wish you weren't a liar.
And KPro said, oh, hell no, we got to go live. So take it away, KPro.
Yeah, I don't know the hell no, but maybe I'm a cool mom one. But so here's what's happened. We were moving today. Hey, David, we were moving today and we just got home. I'm still in gross mode. But Saturday's move day. But I said, you know what? The only way to get us on a good track for Monday is let's give everybody an update of where we're at. Much like, like 2 weeks ago, there was the whole Shannon Odia Soul thing. That seems so far in the past. We've had a lot happen this week. And Dale being on Amy's, some people are confused. What's going on? Yeah, so we wanted to go over it. I have a one-page PowerPoint. The conspiracy theory bridge is gone, but I at least want to say, here is where we're talking from of what we know at this point. And that kind of gets us all in the same boat for next week, which you never know what'll happen in the next couple of days. And so I just wanted to go over, okay, you saw the PowerPoint, Shiloh came in, Dale has said some things, Cynthia said some things, Amy said some things, the chat room said some things have happened offline since then. So I've kind of updated the timeline and I just want to start from there. But I do want to say a couple of things before we get started. Some people were, okay, so please like this video, hit subscribe. You better hit subscribe because we might go on at different times. Super chat is on. Super chat's awesome.
Hashtag super chat. Don't piss anybody off, everybody. Super chat's on.
Yeah, so anything you want to ask, we want to try to get updates. So you can at KPro as well, but if you super chat, we see it definitely. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is things outside the Forrest Fenn hunt, actually just outside this channel that I want to update you on. And then we're going to go into some particulars. I'll show you the one slide that I want to talk about. But the first thing is, you guys know him, you guys love him. His name is GTC, otherwise known as hashtag Good Greg. And Good Greg now has 2 channels. So some people were confused about it. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I'm going to be making an appearance weekly on one of the new shows that he has. So if you know GTC, you guys remember GTC. He was the sniffer up at the finale. We know him. We love him. He has a channel called GTC. It's brand new again because he hard deleted his old one. He was growing big. But a lot of you guys send me your solves. He actually wants to go over the solves on Zoom and then upload videos like once a week, which is something I so wish him luck on. So I will say he is now, we gave him a wrench in the chat so he can Oh God. So he can post the link to his GTC channel. He also has a yep, there he is right there. Then he also has a channel called Dark, and that's going to be the discussion channel. So he's going to be uploading stuff and solves. So many of you guys want to talk to your solves. I will probably respond to you if you give me your solve and say, this guy at Greg's Talks Chase at gmail.com would love to talk to you about it, because I cannot give the time and respect that it needs. And I know so many of you want to talk about it. So that's first. David, hold on one second. Okay. The second is, then he has a channel called Dark, D-A-R-C. He's in there right now under the Dark. That's Greg. So it's kind of like, what did he say? Batman and somebody or other. I only know Superman and Clark Kent, but he was like, no, I want to be Batman and whoever Batman's alter ego is. Dark is actually going to be where he discusses many things, including the Forrest Fenn hunt. Well, me and him and Chasing Indy, we are going to start a show on Wednesdays at 12:30. If you know him, he works off hours, so he's like, he will be the 12:30 Pacific show. And what we've decided to do is we're going to pull out, me and Indy to start with, and then we're going to ask you to pull out some of our old emails from Forrest on random things. And not related specifically to the chase, but just something. It's almost like Cynthia's Tau stories. We're going to share those emails, and we're going to go over just some fun stories with Forrest. I don't know what the first one is yet. We're going to actually let Indy pick the first one, which will be super fun. But maybe it's on Indians, maybe it's on relationships, maybe it's on, I know I have a lot, and we just think it would be fun. So Greg doesn't have as many, if at any, so he's more going to moderate. We're going to throw an email out and just have a blast.
Packer Jack with the super chat. That almost rhymes, but didn't. There should never be shame in trying to pinpoint the solve location. Thank you, Cowlazars and KPro, while doing this, still honoring Forrest. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Although recently, I don't know, something's going on, but we'll talk about that. So
Yeah,
thank you, Packer Jack, for the super chat.
Yeah, so can you show the logo that I sent you, Mike?
Oh, crap. All right, give me a minute.
Okay, it's called Messages.
I can make that much money in 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's for the super chat. Thanks, Packer.
Hate the soundboard. So it's called Messages with the Maverick, and we made a little logo, and Indy's gonna make a little intro because she has mad skills that I don't have. So we have a fancy new logo, like Dark said. GTC, Greg, whatever your name is. I sent it to Mike, and he was supposed to have it ready, and look, he doesn't.
I'm working on it.
He's working on it. So, okay. So just to remind you, thumbs up at KPro if you want questions answered. We're just doing kind of a catch-up night, so we want you guys to catch up. Here we go. Copper Dan.
Go ahead, you read it, KPro.
I heard a rumor that I am a paid actor for Cowlazars. I was wondering when I will receive my first paycheck. And do you offer health benefits? No, paid actors buy new houses. Forrest got us our new house, the house that Chaseopoly built. I said that like 100 times.
As soon as we move into the new house, that's it. No more shows. That was part of the deal we signed with the estate, everybody. So this could be the last show. You never know. All right, hang on. I just downloaded it. What'd I do with it? I'm all discombobulated over here. Oh, there we go. All right, so we do this. We do this. Thanks for that super chat, Copper Dan. You talking about this logo right here?
Messages from the Maverick. Doesn't that look cool? They came up with it because I have none of those skills. I think it's awesome. And so we're going to actually like jump into, just random stories. I mean, there was one time Forrest is like, are you around? What are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. What are you doing? And then we started chatting about different things. So, I mean, it might be about American Indians. It might be about relationships. Like I said, I talked to him a lot about Mike. Ooh, I could go into those. There's so many things. Family, arrowheads, wearing socks. I had a whole conversation with him about wearing socks. It's going to just be fun. I have no idea.
Hey, that's a good one. No, wait, I'm not finished holding my sides.
That was for Dan's super chat, nothing else. Okay, sorry.
I hate you. Okay, long way to Tipperary. It says, where is this KPro Indie Dark channel. Dark, would you please post it again? So if so you guys know that's going to start, I think it's going to be next week on Wednesday at 12:30. So be subscribed so then you know you will get notified along the way. So Dark will put it in the DARC, you will see it. So GTC and Dark.
KPro and Indy on the same show. All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, so Bobby says you guys are awesome. The haters are just so jealous. It's hilarious. Well, okay, since Mike's not here, I'm going to make a quick comment. Some people were like, are there issues? You know, you weren't on Amy's show and they didn't come over to your show. This is how I see it. I see we have different pockets of people and they really like each other. And Mike and I really like each other. So we kind of have our little thing going. And I call them the Nookers. Justin, Amy, Matt, and Justin, Matt, Amy, and Cynthia. They have such a cool little vibe going. And they invite guests sometimes, and we invite guests sometimes. I think it's cool what they have going on. I get to sit in the chat room and have a good time, not moderate. It's awesome. And then they can come over here. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Cynthia sometimes doesn't have enough time in the day. Sometimes I talk with Cynthia offline. Then we go over to Indy's channel. Sometimes we privately Zoom. Sometimes we come out. There's so many different pockets of people. It only helps the community to have more channels. So there's no there that there's like, oh, dissension and issues and all that. There's just really cool stuff. And I think the channels that are putting out the content, it's called cool stuff. So we super chatted several times to Amy last night. That was like the only thing better than Monday was having Dale come out last night and the whole panel and discuss things. It is so much fun to have different channels that have different content. Now we have Dark back, GTC is back, and he's going to have a whole different way of going about stuff. I wish Toby and Shelly would come back. They have a different way. It's awesome. And the more, in case you didn't know this, from YouTube, the more channels that are spitting out content, they start recommending each other just through the algorithm of YouTube, and then you get some synergy going. So I'm quite excited. I know there were some things from the show Monday that then kind of had some synergy with last night, and there's nothing but greatness in that. Like we did the show a couple Saturdays ago about Shannon, and Amy went live at like 2:00 after it. How awesome. It's like every channel gets to kind of put their own little technology or their own little personality piece on it. So I just think
you weren't a liar.
he's back and he didn't even tell me. I was going to just chatter on for a while. And
What
Mike has
happened?
a soundboard. My God, what could we get through a night without a soundboard? We can't. So anyway, I just wanted to make the one comment about that because some people were like, oh, because different people are in different channels. I will be talking to the whole Cynthia comment about the BS comment with Shiloh because I know her well enough. I said, hey, what the hell was that about? And she gave me an explanation. Let's see if you guys buy the explanation. I don't know if I do, but I love her. I mean, we're all trying to do great things, meaning we're trying to find our solution to all this at the end. I know Mike's kind of over it. That's why he's allowed me, since I love, honor, and obey him, I allowed me to go over on the Dark channel.
Thumbs up for the cat thumbnail. You guys like that? See, we had Willie upside down in the last show. Now we have the cat sideways. So we're starting to bring things into focus. You see what I did there? You see what I'm doing there? So we'll see. We'll see if there even is a Monday show because we are moving. So we'll see.
Yeah, we.
But that's why you should subscribe and hit the bell because we may go live Saturday night. You never know. It just depends what we hear. Copper Dan says thumbs up for the soundboard. Here's
and
Dan.
Carrie,
Why
I
don't
had
you
to
go tell your mom to shut up?
There we go. That was for Dan.
Soundboard. Stop with the goddamn soundboard. Okay, and so Carrie said 3 more minutes till content, right? Because Mike needed to come back and put up the PowerPoint. And now let's get to the good stuff, which is where are we now? So in case any of you left this chase for 3 days and you didn't know the whole world exploded, here's what's happened. We had a show on Monday of a huge conspiracy theory. In the middle of it, Shiloh called me, emailed me, and texted me, and then came on the show in the chat room. Here's where some people are questioning whether it was him. Here is why I believe it was him. His cell phone number matched. His email matched. Mike had met with the searcher the previous week from Nova Scotia, And all he said was, "Oh, you just met with the searcher." And Shiloh in the chat said, "Oh, the guy from Nova Scotia." There's no way he could possibly do that. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Fenny Bones, who we just had dinner with. What's up? Shout out to Fenny Bones with the $10 super chat. He says, no more gross margaritas. Next time it's Margaritaville. Yeah, I forgot about Margaritaville, but you're right. We should do that for sure. It was good seeing you and your wife, Fenny Bones. Make another video. Bring Fenny Bones back.
It was the most awful margarita both of us had ever had. And I'm like, is something wrong with this? And he's like, yes. I was like, okay, it's just not me. Anyway, so thank you. And thank you for good Fenn talk. It was awesome. Okay, so there's no question in our mind. I will say that he went offline after the chat, and I can just tell you for sure, in my opinion, for sure, it was him. Okay, so here we go. We now have, so Monday, that was him. That he debunked some of the things, and I'm going to update what he has said, what other has said. And then Dale came on Amy's panel last night, and he said some things remarkably related to the Monday show. And so I'm going to update. So what I've done is taken those 27 slides that I did on Monday, and I put it down to one timeline, not conspiracy theory, one timeline of what Shiloh said, what Dale had said, what I originally said, and kept our sources in there with a little bit of an update on different things, because people have been messaging me, well, did you know this person said this person said that? A couple of the sources are like, do not say my name now, even more than ever. So we will update all of that. So that's what we're going to do today to make sure everybody is on the same page. So if there's no further questions, make sure to put at KPro, because I'm going to get going on my PowerPoint. It's a little bit busy, but it's all in one slide. So hit it, Dano, otherwise known as Mike Cowlazars.
Here goes the PowerPoint, everybody. Thumbs up for KPro's PowerPoint.
We'll get used to it, because that's my main move.
Yeah, you better cut that off.
PowerPoint is your main move. What?
Okay, so anything with the red check mark above it means we've already discussed it and there's no controversy, contradiction, or update about it. The ones that have the, I don't know how well you can see it, the ones that say, what does that say? New update, I have some updated information. So the ones in the black, I'm not going to discuss. I'll talk in general, but there hasn't been any controversy or anything around it. So I'm going to start in the upper left, and I'm going to work my way through the years.
And are the ones in black undisputed? Or
yeah, that's what yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're not disputed. Okay.
They are not disputed, and they have no updates. They're still important to the overall timeline, but we won't discuss them today because of that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, so, and Bobby makes a good point. Let it all be known, he did not call you liars. No, not in any way. He just said, that's not what I know. Remember, he said we were cool. And he doesn't think everybody's cool. He does think some people suck. So, yeah, no, he didn't. That's what I think the difference is intent. And I don't think he thinks we're intentionally lying. He's correcting us with information. Okay, so we know we already talked about it. The fundraiser, Forrest and I had a meeting, and he was sick, and he told me some things about that. That's not it. That hasn't been questioned. We're not going to talk about it, but that's the first upper left box that's black. So we're not going to question that. We're going to move on now. Oop. Oh, John Miller. Now you have to do a soundboard, a really cool one.
Let me see. Wow, why am I not seeing that? Okay, let me see.
If I were Chinese, I'd say, oh, dear.
Oh, dear. All right, John Miller. Oh, dear. And thank you for the $24.99 super chat. He says, in memory of Tony Hinman. Ah, well, that's nice. We all remember Tony Hinman. Thank you for the super chat.
Okay. So next is, so the next one is, I had put, this is the Forrest Fenn intervention. So Shiloh was very clear, and you're going to see Shiloh in the blue. Shiloh was very clear that there was no family intervention. So that was debunked. But there was, and I talked to Cynthia the next day or the day after, after the Shiloh show, but before, and I said, Cynthia, you were a named source. How would you characterize it? And she said there was a family meeting. And I said, okay, so right now we have Shiloh saying there was not an intervention. Cynthia saying there was a family meeting. And then Dale last night said there was family pressure, but it was not a meeting.
And I'm saying,
I wish you weren't a liar.
because something's going on. I don't know what it is, but go ahead, KPro. Something's going on, people.
Well, I think this is probably the most sensitive. Nobody wants to overplay it or underplay it. I don't know Dale really well. We never I won't say never. Our paths crossed only a few times. He was always very nice to me. We emailed today, not about this. And I'll just say in general, I don't find him a liar. I don't find Cynthia a liar. I don't think I'm a liar. I don't think anybody's a liar. There could, the one thing I was trying to wrap my head around on Monday is how can everybody be right from their own perspective and it's not intentionally lying? I don't know if that can happen, but that's how I'm just stating the facts at this point.
And I should clarify, I don't believe people are outright lying either, even though I play the sound clip. I don't believe that. I think people are maybe misremembering a little bit. But when you have a game of telephone and months go by, people are going to misremember things, right? But I will say, as far as Dale, he was kind of the front man for Forrest. I mean, and what I mean by that is the website, he posted everything. He's good friends with Forrest. I don't think Forrest is going to say anything. I mean, I don't think Dale is going to say anything that would kind of make Forrest look in a bad light, regardless if it happened or not. But that's my opinion. And what an opinion.
No, but he said a lot last night.
Everybody's got gracious. One. What was that, KPro?
I said he said a lot last night. Like he was told he was the 100-yard searcher, and
I only watched part of it because I'm busy, so I didn't see.
I know, and that I'm here to update you and educate you about what happened.
I took it as he was a little bit upset at Forrest for saying that. And did you notice he said I never told anybody? Ooh, keeping secrets. It's not just KPro keeping those secrets; it's everybody. But yeah, I think he was a little upset because he's like, well, it doesn't help me, so. And one thing that I did see that part of the show, and one thing that nobody brought up was, what if Forrest was just messing with him? What if Forrest straight up lied? In other words, he was never 100 yards away or 100 feet or 300 or whatever the quote was. What if Forrest was just messing with him?
You know who brought that up? Dale. He said, I don't know if it was factual or if it was real. Well, just digging Gypsy. Forrest told her, don't leave where the treasure isn't, near Hebden. Well, that was the wrong state. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Hunt with the $4.99 super chat. Mike Hunt. I like that name. Was that from Porky's? It says coronavirus. I got to find that clip. I haven't played it in a while. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for reminding me to play coronavirus because it's not over yet, but we're getting there. Okay. All right. Continue on, KPro.
Bring up the PowerPoint, Mike. Okay, so that one, it does feel the stickiest. Was there a meeting or wasn't there a meeting? It was explained to me there was. I know some details about what I thought the meeting was, but anyway, there wasn't an intervention, but there was a family meeting according to Cynthia. According to Dale, there was family pressure to call off the chase. I mean, how else would Forrest get pressure but meeting with people? I don't know. So this one's a little mucky. Okay, so the next one is in late 2019, Forrest became aware that he was ill. Shiloh says no. Somebody pointed me to a YouTube video where Sasha says it on her, or I think it's Jason or their YouTube channel. So there's a little bit of a contradiction here. Was she aware or wasn't, or was he aware or wasn't he aware that there was an illness? But we have a known tuber that was close with Forrest that says, I put it out in a video. So again, Shiloh's saying no though. So so that one again is another contradiction, a little bit mucky like the previous one. Okay, so then we had it's up to the finder out of we heard that from Forrest's mouth in the interview from 2019. We're not going to talk about that one because there's no controversy around it. We know after the Rd interview, Cynthia says Forrest told her big surprises is coming in December of 2019. So now I'm on the last box on the upper right-hand corner. This is the new and updated information. I had gotten information in December. Forrest met with the searcher just to discuss calling off the chase. Dale talked about on Amy's channel last night, Forrest emailed Dal in March and said, I'm thinking of ending the chase. What do you think? And Dale's response was, that's a terrible idea. And Matt asked him a question. Do you think he was formulating a plan or just asking? And he said, I think he was formulating a plan. And it was the only time Forrest had genuinely talked to him about calling off the hunt, outside of, when he talked about when Randy Ballou died, this was such a shock to him, like he reconsidered everything. But and then 3 months later, he said in this video, and 3 months later it was called, it was over, I wonder, kind of thing. So that's an expanded information. It doesn't contradict what we have, but it adds to the same conversation. So Dale now is saying within a couple months of this other source, there is now two discussions that happened with Forrest related to calling off the chase. Okay, I'm going to take a breath now because we covered the top row. Does anybody have any questions on the top row? Lucky Digger, we weren't supposed to go on, but we decided just to give everybody an update of where we're at. So there's nothing new. We're just I just compiled everything that happened this week from Monday to now.
Okay, so okay, all right, I'm good so far.
Okay, so let's go down to the bottom left. Someone messaged me and said, the biggest thing that you totally forgot was Forrest was served with the Erskine case papers and actual proof of service on June 4th. And I went, oh, so this one's not really a contradiction, and it can't be a contradiction because it's fact. So that's why I put it in gray. So it's going to turn black. But June 4th, a day before Forrest said the treasure chest was found, a lawsuit was filed. So that's just more, we're making this a thorough representation of everything that happened. So we are now at the bottom, right next to the gray. I'm going into the family explosion on June 6th. Matt had a meeting afterwards, had the meeting, and afterwards there was an explosion the day that he visited. And the second piece is on June 6th, Forrest's family was unaware that the treasure chest had been found. They all got a group email. So no one's questioned those pieces. So we're going to just kind of keep going there. And that gold line, that's when the gold was found. Do you see? The gold was announced to be found? Do you see what I did there, Mike? Do you see what I did there? The gold line?
Yeah, I get it, I think. Silver and gold. Anybody remember that song?
Okay, so now I'm going to move to just right of the gold line. So in July, Mike had a source that told Forrest about paying a bet to Mike that the treasure chest was found and it was over. And the answer from Forrest was, nothing is what it seems. Well, Dale, last night, we've got to add this in, so it's in green on that July 20th. Dale to Forrest. Dale sent him an email that says, will I ever learn what really went down? And Forrest's answer was yes. Now, Dale was very neutral and I think appropriate, where he said, I don't know if that meant everybody or he was just going to tell me or what, but that's what happened. What do you think about that, Michael? That's your real name?
I think 1 month from now, isn't it June 6th? 1 month from today is the 1 year anniversary. That's a Sunday. We might have to go live, because you never know what information may come out on the 1 year anniversary. Mr. Joel Lewicki's in the chat. We can be independent together. What's up, Joel? Hope you're doing all right. And Full Press says bingo was his name-o. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll ask when you're done with the PowerPoint. So I'm with you so far. I see how the timeline of how things have progressed so far.
Yeah, it's evolved a little. Some things have been debunked. Some things have been added. Some semantics, maybe. Some lies. I don't know. I don't call anybody a liar because I don't know their intent, unless they're just really mean, awful people that suck. Keep going.
All a lie.
Okay. I need the PowerPoint, babe. Okay, so now we're on that September 20th. Forrest requested Cynthia and Indy to take pictures at the finale, and he was seemingly unaware if Jack was attending or not. Nobody's questioned that. I think we all knew it at the time what happened. So in September, and I think it was September, they didn't say last night, Forrest had offered me to come for an interview. The final interview is how he put it. Mike was not going to go, but Mike already confirmed last night. I had asked Cynthia to tape or to video it. The interesting part is Amy on Amy Seek's show, she goes, "Oh yeah, when Jenny was going to give the interview." I don't know if she slipped and said Jenny and she meant me, or if Jenny was also going to be giving an interview. I find it fascinating. So I have put the question up on Facebook. I tagged Amy. I have not circled back with anybody yet. So this is, were there 2 interviews? And in Amy's show, it said, I think it was Amy that said, and it was, no, maybe it was Dale that said, and it was too late. She didn't get the interview in time. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fascinating to find out if there was 2 interviews? What were they? Somebody asked, like, why does it matter? I thought it was fascinating to know what Forrest would be willing and not willing to discuss, what his parameters were, all of that. It'd be even more fascinating to see if there was parallels between if there's 2 interviews, but this is unconfirmed at this point. Go ahead, Mike.
Super chat from Mr. Rudy Green, treasure hunter, in case you didn't know, with the $11.09 super chat. He says, thumbs up for facts and evidence. I would agree with that. What are the facts in this thrill of the chase community? What is the evidence? And what is conjecture? And what is secondhand knowledge? That's the PowerPoint we need, KPro. Well, what you've done here is kind of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of it's secondhand. Some of it's named sources, some of it's unnamed sources.
That's the problem.
I do want to give a shout out to Rudy over on Thor. He's actually typed out the transcript of what Dale said last night on Amy Seeks. A lot of people were interested, but they didn't want to watch the 3 or 4 hour show. I don't remember how long it was. So thank you to Rudy, because I actually asked him, can you do it in a transcript form? And he couldn't for some reason, but he got the info up there, and that has helped me for tonight.
It was just for you, baby.
That was for that super chat.
Dear Lord. Okay. Okay. So Wander said, seems to me Matt has been a little inconsistent about the 6th.
Go ahead. You don't have to stop.
And I agree with you, Wander. I haven't talked to Matt directly about it. I only talked to him maybe a couple of months ago about the tension and the end of the meeting. And he told me it was okay to put out. I will say, I think it was characterized to me as an explosion. I think that issue will resolve in the next 2 weeks. There will either be statements or independent factual data that will be coming out that will show a little more consistency. And that's all I can really say at this point. But that will resolve itself. So that's the reason I'm not going to investigate too much. I'm going to wait for it to work itself out. You guys will know what I mean in a little bit. Go ahead, Mike.
Sean Herman with the $2 super chat says, high five for finding the final spot. Ha ha.
Never heard of him. Next.
That's all I got to say to that. Thank you for that super chat, Sean.
Minotaur says, F was a natural salesman. There's no doubt in my mind that he told Dale 100 yards from the treasure to keep him interested. He did the same with other searchers in New Mexico and Montana. Yeah, and I think Dale put it so eloquently, like it could be, or it could have been, he was just tricking me. And so it's one of those could be, like a lot of people message me, this puts, because he never searched in Slough Creek. That means Slough Creek's out. Yeah, if you believe it wasn't trickery. I don't know. Like, I'm not team Slough Creek. After the whole GPS solve, I'm just putting out data. And I hope it helps all of us get to the final destination, which is what the actual location was. I'm not married to Slough Creek. I haven't been there. I'm not even digging into the locations. I'm bringing you guys the information, and you can decide to rule it out or not. So there you have it. Embrace it, KPro. It's all fun. Okay, C-Dog, I'm going to be honest, and I just told my kids this. We've been moving for 5 days to try to get a lot of it done before Saturday. I'm just my nerves are a little burnt. It's not that I don't think the soundboard is wonderful and amazing and humorous. And Mike was a little grumpy earlier today.
Oh.
And yeah.
I had a headache, everybody. Yeah. Here's what KPro thinks of the soundboard.
It's a piece of crap. It doesn't work.
She never thought we were getting a soundboard for what I use it for. Put it that way.
We call it pivot points, inflection points. I don't know what it's called. It is called a horrible mistake, but we're having fun with it. We're having fun.
Live with it. Maybe F, F'd with people. I think that's as simple as I can put it. F kind of F'd with some people. Sounds like it.
Hey, Sea Dog. Okay. Okay. So in general, yeah. No, I'm pretty good. I know we actually have to pack up a bunch of stuff after this, and that's why we're going to limit to 1 hour. And I hope there's an after party on. I hope to see Indian here soon, and we're going to make her have an after party. Okay. So, bring the PowerPoint up. There's no grumpy in the chase. Exactly. I'm not going to be grumpy. I just maybe am not as enthusiastic about the soundboard tonight as other nights because I want to get through all of this before Shiloh or Jack come in. And
Shiloh, where are you?
Okay, so then the next one is I emailed Shiloh and asked him if the Medium article was legitimate, and Jack was the finder, and Shiloh responded yes, and the article is mostly accurate. Well, by Jack. Well, nobody has contradicted that one, so I left it black. And then the big thing is, let's see, Monday and Wednesday of this week, we had Shiloh in the chat. This is the first time the family since the press release has had anything public, which is amazing to me. And then Dale, I don't think he's been on any YouTubes this year because we're still relatively, well, we're in the first half of the year. I think that's right. Maybe he was on, I don't know. We haven't seen him in a while. It has been a remarkable week. And kind of what came out is pretty amazing.
Here's the question. Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to ask you, KPro. Go ahead.
If she thinks Jack is respecting Forrest's wishes with how ask KPro if she thinks Jack is respecting Forrest's wishes with how he has handled everything since the finding. No.
There it is, everybody. That could, in fact, be breaking KPro news. I just wish, and along with that, I guess, I just wish everybody could just be honest. But it seems like not everybody's being honest about what some things they know about the chase. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is. But everybody makes their own choice. So I don't know. And again, it might be secondhand information. It might be the game of telephone, and people just might be remembering things differently. But we definitely hear for some conflicting stories about things. Would you say that, KPro?
Yeah, and I don't want to get into anybody's intent, but yeah, there's a couple that really perplex me. I know one of the searchers said to me yesterday, this is all the jockeying for the documentaries that are starting to now solidify. And it might be like, I don't know. I can't figure out the motive piece. Now, Joel, I'll give you an answer to that more than just yes or no, because we just don't do yes or no's on this channel. I think with the treasure chest, Jack has told me specifically he's willing to take less money and figure out and negotiate to get it where Forrest wanted it to be. So, and I'm going to take Jack at his word when he says that. He is trying to figure that out. He doesn't find it likely at this point because it sounds like negotiations have stalled or whatever. But here's the big, and it doesn't sound like a big deal to other people, but it's a big deal to me. When I said to Forrest, you're having Indy and Candy give you a picture of every person here, I think the finder was here, and he said, nope, that's why I had him do it. And I said, but there were people at the finale that weren't in those pictures. He's like, help point them out to me. I want to see if Jack's there.
So
if he had this positive, hold on, let me just finish. If he had this positive relationship, this wonderful bonding that they had, why was Forrest not either able to ask Jack or believe Jack? It has to be one or the other. Why did he need independent confirmation if Jack was there or not? That tells me that their relationship may have been somewhat challenged. And if it is somewhat challenged, when you ask, do you think Jack is respecting Forrest's wishes of how he's handling everything since the finding? I would say no. I think Forrest also scheduling at least one interview, possibly two. I think he was ready to talk and he was frustrated. That's a guess of mine, but he told me be patient, be patient, be patient. And he's like, now it's time. We've got to do the interview. And then he passed the next week. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say the only thing I can think of if Forrest did that, meaning I want to see all the pictures to see if Jack showed up, is Jack told him he wasn't going. Jack told him he wanted to be anonymous, but Forrest wanted to know if he would change his mind and actually went. So in other words, I think Jack told him, I want to be anonymous. But then I think if Forrest would have saw him there, I think maybe Forrest could have talked to him to be like, yeah, but you're not really being anonymous, are you? I think he wanted to see if Jack would stay true to his word of, I don't want anybody to know who I am. He wanted to know if he showed up.
So he wanted to see if he could catch Jack in a lie rather than just believing
Kinda.
Jack. I would think that if they had this bond and he was doing everything, Forrest, I don't think questioned people until they needed to be questioned. So that leads, with your logic, that leads me to believe Jack had done something previously, if your logic is right, that made Forrest question. If Forrest and Jack were like this, everything was going swimmingly, and Jack goes, I'm not going. Why would Forrest even say, Indy, Cynthia, take pictures of every single person at the finale and send them to me individually? He wouldn't have gone through that. There was obviously a twinkle of doubt, an issue, some sort of concern,
I think
some
I
sort
can
of
buy that.
question.
Yeah. And then even if it is somebody that was like this with Forrest, I think once they get their hands on that treasure chest and all that gold, things change.
Okay.
And nobody's saying it was Jack at the finale, old silo on the farm. Nobody's saying Jack was at the finale.
No,
right?
the opposite. The
Correct.
opposite, I believe.
Yeah, I think they were trying to say we said it was. No, Jack was not at the finale. And Forrest needed proof. He wanted to see a picture of everybody. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm trying to catch up with Chad. I'm sorry, I have too
And
many.
Joel says, I think Jack is trying to honor Forrest's wishes. So we don't know what those wishes are. You'd think maybe Jack, why wouldn't Jack just come out and say what Forrest's wishes were? Doesn't give us the solve, doesn't give us a solution or anything. Why doesn't he just say, this is what Forrest wanted to do with it. I'm trying to make it happen. And if I can't, well, then I'm going to sell it. I wonder why he wouldn't tell us what those wishes are.
Right. And Joel, what leads you to believe that? So Jack has set this up in a way that maybe he's privately communicated with you, some of that. There hasn't been enough for me to be able to make that enough evidence on either side. I have a little bit of evidence directly from Jack, private emails that say I'm trying to honor his wishes. And then on the other side, I have some evidence to show. So that's where I'm a little split. But I know that since it's all private communication and secondhand information on other details, I want to believe the best. So I would say when it comes to the treasure chest, yes, I think all of this hoopla, I don't know. I just don't think Forrest would have, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents. Okay.
Joel, I think Davio wants you to check your email.
Okay. Okay. Once the treasure was found, it went from F rules to Jack's rules. True, except for Forrest was then like, we've been patient long enough. I need an interview. Okay. I need an interview done, KPro. And that is another small piece of evidence that shows me. And I tried to check with Jack and he won't answer. He's asked me to ask him. And then he didn't answer. Was he aware that Forrest had scheduled his final interview the week? It was for the week after he passed. Was he aware of that? Because if he said, yeah, he checked with me and I was fine with it. This is his hunt, his rules. That would be interesting. If he said, no, I don't, that'd be interesting. All of it would get us a little bit of data. Not that it gets us closer to the chest. It gets us closer to Joel's notion of, is Jack abiding by or not? If Forrest was kind of going rogue, that would be interesting to know. So this is more just informational more than it's going to get us exactly to the treasure chest. Okay. So that's where we are right now. It seems right now things are just hopping and going. I will ask everybody we have already purchased Dan Barbarosi's book. It's coming out in 2 weeks from today. So no, 2 weeks from the 20th. No, the 18th. The 16th.
Which is it? I've heard May 18th is a release date, but will you get it earlier? Maybe. Well, some people get it before others, just because of mail and stuff. Maybe. I don't. Was there a Kindle version? I wonder if everybody will get the Kindle version.
Yeah, if you order it, you get the Kindle on the 18th. If you don't order the e-version, you get it after they ship. I guess they ship it on the 18th. So you don't get it early. Yeah.
We'll definitely go live and talk about it for those of you who aren't going to read it. I know I'm going to read it and see, Yeah.
So, So, goodness gracious.
Justin
No,
Posey with the $19.99 super chat. Thanks, Justin. He says, for folks in the chat, what's the most elaborate fake blaze you saw made in the state of Wyoming, and where was it? That's a good question, Justin. And we asked on the show, I believe it was our last show, saying how many searchers out there have left an intentional fake blaze? And I didn't really get much response from that. So that's a good question as well. How many people on their boots on the ground saw what they believe was a fake blaze? Either you saw or you made in the state of Wyoming. And that's right. Really, we're only focused on Wyoming now. And also thanks to Justin because he bought us a poker table for our wedding. At the new house, we are going to put it together. So I'm hoping to show you guys what the new poker table looks like this weekend. So thanks again, Justin. We appreciate it.
Now I have a question for Justin. He says the most elaborate fake blaze. Do you believe that the one that when we were at the GPS location in DeLacy, would you consider that elaborate? Or would you just consider that a fake blaze? I wouldn't consider it elaborate. So I
wouldn't even consider it a blaze personally, but yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Right. Yeah. I mean, to me, a blaze would be rocks in a certain formation. If I take 8 rocks and I put them in a circle, well, that's something that draws your attention. Somebody did that. To me, that's a blaze, right? If I took rocks and stood them up 5 high, that's a blaze. Like a cairn, that's a blaze. If you carve a marking in a tree, it is a blaze. I know a lot of people rule that out, but it is a blaze. Yeah, things like that to me.
Well, I know a searcher, it was in a different state, so this won't help you, Justin, but actually took a huge thing of rocks that he thought it was at, and he thought that was the blaze, and he moved it like 50 or 100 feet, spent all day moving it because he's like, when I get there, I want somebody else would be 100 feet off then. And I'm like, okay, or 100 yards. I think it was 100 feet, which I found interesting. They took an entire day. And some people were like, yeah, we did that. So definitely, guys, answer. Super chat Justin and put at Justin and then give them an answer. Did you ever, or maybe one you heard of? Okay, Davey asked, do you believe Forrest's death was planned or sudden and unexpected? If you believe, I think what you're asking is, 1, I do not believe he's alive. I know some people still do. 2, did he commit suicide? In my opinion, no, it was not planned. But how his ending ended, meaning he had the do not resuscitate, I think he was very clear about. So that piece was planned about. He was not going to be put on devices and things and all of that. So I hope that answers your question, Davey.
3D Bronze has a good point. He says, I think it's probable Forrest was trying to encourage Jack to go to the Fenn finale, even though Jack thought it was a bad idea. So F probably just wanted to see if Jack ended up going. And that's possible.
That definitely could be the case. I took notes, so I probably won't declassify them. You're out of luck. Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but sure. I went dark for a few months. Why is this Dan Barbarisi book being anticipated? So Minotaur, Dan got in touch with Jack, and he was the only one that got an interview with Jack, and he got quite a bit of time. I talked to Dan, I don't know, a few months back, got quite a bit of time with Jack. And so there's a part of the book that only he got that interview. During our show on Monday, Shiloh said there are some issues with Dan Barbarosi's book. Dan's been working on this book for years. He goes kind of all through from the beginning to the end of where we were as of about 2 months ago. So 1, he has the only interview with Jack, and 2, it sounds like the family is not on the same page as Dan on some part of this book. So you take those 2 pieces together, it's really all we have. It's not fantastic, but it's all we have because of how this ending, how Jack is managing this ending. Okay, I'm still going through chat. I'm trying to catch up. Okay, so thanks. More wondering why he didn't get his answers out before he died. Davey, I know for me, he, and somebody gave me a really hard time about this. He scheduled it right during the finale. And when I got back home, I think it was that Monday or Tuesday when I got back home, he's like, can you come now? And I had just gotten home. I had to take care of kids stuff. And Cynthia was still out with Matt, and Cynthia was going to film it. And I said, I can't this weekend, but I can next weekend. And he's like, okay, I totally understand. But it felt to me that he was saying it was time pressing. He's like, can you come this weekend, or this week? And I was like, I just been gone. I just left all the kids with Mike and all of that. So it seemed time pressing. So, and now if I would have known now what I should have known then, I would have said, yeah, I'll film it myself, or Mike, let's go and we'll have a babysitter or something. So, yeah, I don't know. So there you have it. Go ahead, Mike. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns?
I think it sums it up. We got to get some clarification on this stuff, and I just don't know if we will, which is the problem. Hopefully, Dan Barbarosi's book coming out in 2 weeks or a little bit less. Maybe he'll shed some light on some things. Maybe, we'll see. And then if one of these damn documentaries ever get made, who knows? But then again, how do you know what's in it is factual or a story, or if a documentary is made, I guess it's just from the point of view of the people who are in it, unless Jack's in it and Forrest is gone. So you know what I mean? But it would still be fun to watch. I know I'd watch it. Hey, if a documentary or any kind of movie was made, I'd watch.
Well, and I was talking to some producers this week or last week. I don't remember which week. All these weeks are this week. And yeah, this week. And there's a group of us that are very interested in the finding, and that is the solution. Like Dale said it perfectly. Like he called Jack a jerk, and he said it's because he has the solution and the location. Those are the things he wants, and Jack's refusing to give that up. And then he said, I'm not hating on him, etc., which I respect Dale for how he said it. And these producers find it as interesting as this whole hunt, which is this eclectic, your treasure hunters, that kind of thing, to now people are hunting the location that has no treasure, and why. So it was really, really kind of cool to watch, or kind of hear from an outside perspective. Nobody blames you except your hater club. Hey, I wake up in the morning, my hair's in the wrong place. My haters will point it out. I'm new to the chase. What's the news on the treasure seekers? They are a YouTube channel that focuses on discussing people. I'll leave it at that.
Don't be a player hater.
I'm not hating. I don't choose to spend my time watching that. I'll leave it at that. And you just have to watch 5 minutes and you'll know what I mean.
Anagram, shout out to Anagram. We had dinner with him at Pepper Mill, and he says, I gave you the solution last fall. That is correct, Anagram. You gave us your solution. I cannot say it is the solution. But, man, you are an anagramming fool. Anagrammed every line of the poem, and then every double line of the poem, and then I believe every triple line of the poem. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy what could be done with 166 words. Pretty crazy.
Davey says, yes, I heard that story. That's what makes me think he knew it was coming and could have emailed info or something. Yeah, and I wonder, did he leave something? And that's why a lot of people are saying June 6th. Maybe after all the there's a timeline after one of the lawsuits was dismissed without prejudice, so has a year. So maybe that's what they're waiting for. I don't know. Are they waiting, or is this just over? I don't know. Forrest is looking for that fish. I don't know what that means, but that sounds cool. I'm looking for that fish if it's at that solution. I just want to know. Not in I'm quitting my job, I'm mortgaging my house, I'm going to find it. Just more of I really want to know. I looked for that place. I went to places I never went. My, communication with Forrest and friendship with Forrest, I don't know. And yet, KPro chastised Jack for not meeting up ASAP. Yeah, I missed him by 5 days because I wasn't able to go in 5 days. Jack only had, 5 months? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. That's sarcasm. I know. And I'm not going to say I was totally right or wrong. If I said, Forrest, I can't meet you for the next 5 or 6 months, I think it's a little different than 5 days when I had kids to tend to. But I can see it totally different because Jack has 12 kids, right?
12 kids? What?
That's my point. They're saying me having to tend to my kids is equal to Jack, who has no kids and couldn't make time for 5 months. Fisherman, you're full of malarkey. I'll leave it at that. KPro, I gave you the solution rack one. Does Jack have everything or just the chest? I believe Jack has nothing. The vault in Santa Fe, I believe, has everything except for the sapphire ring. He got the other gold frog, and it does not have the bracelet. We did not ask Shiloh who has the bracelet right now. We know who has the buckle. Shiloh is wearing it as we speak. He says it.
Shiloh does. Gets them all the ladies. Was that really Shiloh? Hashtag question mark. It sure seems like it was, doesn't it? It's kind of like a UFO. We saw him, and then he disappeared. Who knows if we'll ever come back?
A TK fanboy says, what does KPro think? About what? You have to give me more info because I'm trying to catch up in chat. Emerald ring left behind. Yeah, that's what I think it was Amy Seek said. She asked him that and said, is there any chance it was left behind? And he said, no, there's no way. He methodically looked or whatever. I don't know. And we won't know because us treasure hunters cannot be trusted with that information. COVID-19, KPro. Oh, is that why Jack couldn't? Okay, I think you're saying COVID-19 was the reason that Jack couldn't, but he went boots on the ground in the middle and had a very nice bottle. He went and got a very nice bottle of wine. So maybe he could only pick up the treasure chest due to COVID-19, but he couldn't meet with Forrest because of COVID-19.
Fisherman says Jack has a family. He may not have kids, but he has a family. So, hey, Jack
right,
may
and
have
I can tell you, I can tell you, when I was in my late 20s with no kids and still had a family, the responsibility was extremely different than being a single mom with 2 kids and no father at all around. Little bit of a difference to me, and maybe I'm making an excuse, but anyone that's been a single parent, I can tell you for a fact there's a difference, but I will digress. I like KPro as a person.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I like KPro as a person, but she's closed-minded a bit. That's fair. I have confirmation bias, probably. Yeah, no, I respect that. Gosh, I've been told a lot worse in life.
You know, that's all you care about.
Jack Snoof is in the chat, everybody. And what he has to say is not the real Jack Snoof. So thank you for at least telling us. He actually added an extra letter there, an extra F that I didn't catch at first when I saw Jack Snoof. So very good.
Yeah, he said in another chat, I think on Amy's chat, he was someone else, and he'll convert back. You tell him this says Lucky Digger. I don't know who I'm telling, but yeah. So, okay. What other? We've gone just about an hour. So here's a comment that Cynthia made, where some people are like, "Ooh, is there an issue between you guys?" She made a comment in the Amy show of, what do you think about, what happened on Monday? And she said, I'm just glad that Shiloh put an end to that bullshit. And I messaged her and said, the bullshit you're talking about is you're my source. Like, what he questioned was where you were my source.
Oh, Cynthia's the source for the GPS. Ooh. Oh, wait, not that source, different source. Wait, she's a source.
Not source turd. She's not the third source.
Ooh, Cynthia's the source.
Shit. Okay, so, and what her response was, ooh, I was calling myself out of the bullshit. We've got to get through the bullshit if we're going to get to what we.
How does that make any sense? I don't understand.
I like her so much. I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt. I don't get it myself. She goes, I didn't watch her show. She was on with a different searcher doing a Zoom, and he was telling her stuff, but she said she never watched it. And I said, Cynthia, there's something. I actually haven't responded because I'm trying to digest it before I say. Sometimes I get impulsive and emotional, and I don't want to do either of those things with good people. And so
No. You? No. All I'll say is I'm not even gonna play it. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, Mary Green said, do you mean Jack looked for the ring before he went to Santa Fe? Mary Green, I don't know what he said. I think it was Amy. What he said was, I thoroughly searched that entire area. There was nothing left behind. There's no emerald ring. There's none of that. So yeah, there you go.
All I can say about KPro and Cynthia and Candy and Shannon.
These are ladies.
And Amy.
And they shall be treated thusly with respect and dignity.
That's right, everybody. You remember that. punks. You remember that.
Justin says,
Don't
"Why
play
is
it."
and don't play it."
Right.
Yes, exactly. You know, a couple of those, I'm like, I don't know if I just throw the entire computer in the trash. Yeah. So anyway, that's the story. Yeah, Chasing Indy said, I was the one with the marriage license.
That's
Indy, I
true.
went over it before. I'm going to say it again. I love that there's different pockets of people that mesh and have great times. And I love the Nookers over on Amy's channel. They have a dynamic between them that is awesome and fun to watch. I love being in the chat room there. I love coming over here and Mike and I bantering about. I will say, I was going to say nobody's my favorite, but he is my favorite. I love going over and went on a panel with Indy and Greg and a few others. I love being that there's different pockets of people. And here's the cool part. Everyone can be a part of the community and they don't have to feel slighted or attacked or attack other people. We all can coalesce. We can all live in this world. We're like neighbors on a street. We're all in the same neighborhood. Forrest Fenn's part of the amusement park, but we don't have to get into war with our neighbors. We can just say, hey, I'm a Bud Light kind of family. They might be, you know, a rum and Coke kind of family. I say that because
And also,
Don't be a player hater.
that's all it is, guys. There's room for all of us. There's room for all the YouTubers. We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to dislike each other. Well, sometimes we dislike each other, but you know, there is room for all the channels and all the opinions and everything else. And that's what it is. Just remember that, everybody. It's everybody's opinion. And you'll be
Lurker Mike says, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
We just had to break it to our neighbors here that we're moving. And they're like, no. And that was kind of cool for them to be kind of, I don't know, like disappointed we're leaving. They're like, you've been such good neighbors. We're like, we haven't converse too much because they don't have kids and stuff. But the Fenn United Club, I like that, Justin. Yeah, like it's so cool that there's different groups, and I love every personality of each group. They're very different. I feel like Amy's group is so, or the the Nookers, they're so analytical, but they're so different in being analytical. I mean, Justin's so different than Cynthia. I like to be a fly on the wall when they're like battling and debating, and you haven't Mike and I get into some debates and then Indy and I, ooh, that gets ugly sometimes. Just kidding, Indy. And then Greg, and then okay, breaking news.
We got some 3D Bronze breaking news with the $2.99 super chat. He says, wish Jack would give us a hint, like Tell Me Who video number 2. If you guys didn't know, there's a treasure hunt out there, guys. It's absolutely free called Tell Me Who. 3dbronze.com/Tell Me Who. And if you can tell 3D Bronze who, you can go see what the treasure is on his webpage. And he's got a hint, actually. So tell me who, everybody. We do have a pool,
Okay.
Mary Green. That's a must.
And it's heated and there's a jacuzzi. It's the greatest thing
Oh,
ever.
you'll see. Make sure you subscribe because we're going live from the new house this weekend. And I will say before I got to get off because I've got some Hardy Boy books to buy. What was I going to say? Oh, Thursday of next week is definitely we're getting back to the treasure hunting amusement park. It's been closed for coronavirus, but it's going to reopen. So next Thursday, I've got a couple things in Tente Cordial. There's a new Bitcoin treasure hunt. Actually, the author of the new Bitcoin treasure hunt book is going to be on the show. So next Thursday, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because brand new ride in the treasure hunting amusement park for Bitcoin of all things. What?
I have just a couple more things and then
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, I'm gonna
collect books, more books. Right before we move, Mike and I had a little.
The Hardy Boys. Who's a treasure hunter? If you haven't read the Hardy Boys, all right, go ahead.
Zara said, "I'm looking for Pete at Pete's Pista." No, you got to look. Look for Jeff. I know it's confusing. It was his dad's place.
Jeff.
Yeah, look at Jeff. He has a new treasure hunt out as well. There you go.
Now Milan says, "Did you guys solve the legend has it hunt?" No, we've been so busy moving, we just haven't had time for anything. All right, I got to go. He's here, so you take it away, KPro.
Okay, we're going on forever. I don't even know how to stop this. Okay, see, he just leaves. Okay, so housewarming party. We have invited some people. We do have some of them are searchers that are going to help us this weekend. And yes, we will be having a little party. Oh gosh, tell him to watch the Hardy Book. No, the only thing I asked is before we moved, not to buy any collections of things like books that are heavy. He said, well, there's only 100 of them. I'm trying to be happy wife, happy life. Okay. Okay, KPro, Jeff's hunt has a silver searcher coin from the finale poem treasure hunt. Dark, I have heard they have a lot of things in that, or he has a lot of things in there. Do I have an extra bip? I do not. I only have one. It's in Jeff's treasure chest. That is so cool. And see, Forrest Fenn has inspired an entire community of people. So many of these hunts, 3D Bronze is doing one, all the ones that Mike, but some of them are specifically because of that. Put that poker table to use. Yeah, so what we had to do is we didn't want to take it out of the box and then have to transport it because knew we were moving within a couple of months. So not only did we do that, we bought a cool cover for the top of it, and it's actually going to be out all the time because we already have a group of people that are WSOFers plus friends that are going to we're going to start a weekly game and just see how it goes. We're hoping to invite about 12. We think at any given time there'll be between 8 and 10 that'll want to come. So do you see? This is so cool. Thank you again, Justin. Silver coin number 12 in Jeff's treasure chest. Nice. I did not know this. I think it's wonderful. Yeah. So other questions. Where are we going now? I think the next major news next week, God knows what it'll be, but the week after that will be Dan's book and what we get to see out of Dan's book. It'll be more information at the time. He got many interviews from Forrest, so I have not read it, of course, but I am anticipating it and excited about that. Oh, Mike's back. So I just gave away as a part of a contest. I heard that we had this Hardy Boys box.
Wrong. Yeah. I love it when they say they're here and then they're not out front. But I need it. They'll be here in a minute. So I don't know if you want to end it.
Yes, we're going to end now. So thank you guys for, we're up to date now. So you will not be seeing, this is actually the last show in this house. It was a good transition point here in Vegas, but now we have the house that Chaseopoly built. We are excited about it. And, Forrest transferred the title and we have it.
Yeah. Nice. All right, everybody. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we clarified a couple of things tonight. At least that's our opinion. And yeah, we will go live next week.
Wednesday.
And I'm sure we're going to go live from the house over the weekend. What's that?
And make sure to subscribe to Dark's channel, which is GTC Greg. We will see him on Wednesday with some Forrest Fenn personal emails and stories, and it'll be fun. And we're gonna.
They better be Nomadic Madman. They better be. I need to look at them. So that's Wednesday of next week. You guys are doing that for the first time?
Yes, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 his time. It's on his channel. Andy, me, and him. We're gonna have a blast. Make sure to subscribe so you know and remember. It'll be kind of that day. Remember AGK back in the day? They used to do one day show. I love it that we're doing a day show. Lift at the knees and stay safe, Hooli. We actually have movers coming. Yeah. Thank God.
A lot of stuff. Go check out Mr. Clue. His video wasn't solved, but he gave the answer. And whoever tells him how they get the answer from the video gets a silver coin. Okay, everybody. We will see you over the weekend, I'm sure. So good luck. Stay safe and have a good one.